getting some smoke action. So hopefully that will last till we get to our next campsite. Hopefully.
The following message is transmitted at the request of the United States.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. I'm Grimm. Bringing up the rear is Ole Grizz. And then long overdue is Drought. Going out again once more, test our skills, test our gear. Two differences though. One, we got 3 people this time. That's even better. Possibly some arguments, who knows? Discussions. But we're not just staying out for 72 hours. We're staying out for 96 hours. But we've only brought food for 72. Why? Well, a typical bug out bag only has food for 72 hours. So let's see how we fare. Join us. Well, there's a good find. As you can see, I tore a piece of the birch bark off, and it's a dead birch, so no worries about that. Gonna give this a try again. See if I can get it to work.
Is that predator?
What is that?
Yeah.
Sometimes you just gotta sit down, or in some cases, lay down.
Yep.
and enjoy the view and the breeze. It's quite breezy. So that is what Drought, myself, Ole Grizz doing. He's got himself almost an ottoman right there, and
That's not bad either.
the backrest. Yeah, I'm the only dummy just sitting up. I mean, laying down, lounging. But what we're hoping to do is make it to that tree line right about there for tonight. But also what we did notice is that there is some water down there. So when you're resting, taking a load off your feet, enjoying the view, enjoying the breeze, you can still acquire useful information that might help you out in the future. Okay, maybe I'll lay down now too. That deer might be 20 yards away from me. Pretty incredible. Well, if you can tell by the sun behind me, it's getting a little late in the day. Comes to the territory though. You go out, try to find a good spot, or you can't get to your spot in time. Sometimes it might be prudent just to camp early. Drought is working on the fire, getting it ready. And this is why you carry lighters and matches in an emergency situation, which this is pretty much it. You can use them to get a fire started quickly. Drought's over there, trying not to blind him with my headlamp. He already ate his MRE. How was it, buddy?
Not too bad.
Not too bad?
Salty.
Kind of salty, but got over because he's hungry. Ole Grizz eating his food. Mine's right there. But why we're really here is that I can get my phone to work. There we go. It's conflicted card time. And the card reads as such. Barron felt a mixed sense of sympathy for the unprepared civilians. The man-made and natural disasters that are commonplace in society should encourage everyone to be prepared. Would you show compassion for the unprepared if you had limited supplies and help them? Or is this simply a case of natural selection? Well, it's been a while, so what about you, Drought? What do you say?
No, don't help them.
Don't help them?
They were unprepared. And you're limited on your supplies.
Simple. Don't just, know.
Yeah. The only way you're going to survive is to keep those supplies.
Yep, there you go. I mean, you spent all that money, right?
Your survival is more important than their survival.
There you go. Sounds good. All right. Ole Grizz, what do you say?
You really would have to go case by case, but I side with Drought. Generally, don't help them. If it's a very good friend or if it's family, you might proportion your food, your supplies out and say, and already determine that you would help somebody with that percent. Would it be 5, 10, whatever percent that you feel you could use to help them? But generally, a stranger, no.
Gotcha. Use my flashlight to not blind you, hopefully. All right, my turn. Well, if you watched my bot, Beware the Grasshopper, then you probably already know my answer. But if you haven't, well, sorry, not going to help you. It is natural selection. You should be prepared. And definitely, I'll agree with Ole Grizz. Strangers, I'm sorry. Neighbors, probably not. Family members, very close friend. If you got the supplies or maybe can work out a bartering system, okay, maybe. But as a general rule, like it says, natural selection. But that's what we think. That's what Drought thinks, Ole Grizz thinks, what I think. Now we want to know what you think. So leave your comments down below and get back to us and see if you agree with us or disagree with us. Maybe we're heartless. We'll still survive. Well, it's that time. Drought and Ole Grizz have hit the hay, and I am right behind them on that one because it's been a very, very long day. And all I can say is best laid plans. Whether we were kind of egging each other on to go further or the fact that we were having a hard time finding a decent spot, whatever it was, put us in this situation, we overcame it. And that's why you have those emergency fire starters, whether they're lighters or matches or whatever, just to get that fire going, and headlamps and flashlights so you can set up in the dark. So, I think all in all, though it might have been stressful, was a great experience. And that's why we're out here, so we can test ourselves and our equipment. And with that, good night. Day 2. Slept really good. Looks like Drought's still asleep. Looks like Ole Grizz might be stirring just a little bit, but it's a brand new day. Here's the campsite in the daylight. As you can see, Drought is already breaking camp. Why, you ask? Even though this is a pretty nice campsite, you can see Ole Grizz coming here. He's even got some backed stone seats, one for each of us, and a guest if we so choose, but there's no water. And we're gonna need some water. And we're off. Left no trace, except for what was already there, because I don't know about you, but I don't think I would knock down those seats or anything. They were already there when we got there, and they can remain there. Onward. Got ourselves a little snake here.
Yeah. Copperhead.
That's a copperhead?
Oh, yeah, can't get a good look at it. It's got to be diamond shaped.
It's not. Found ourselves some water and thought that it'd be a very good opportunity to fill up. Because you never know when you're going to find it again. Ole Grizz is doing some backwoods medicine here. He is soaking his feet in the very cold stream. I tell you, that's feeling a bit better now.
Oh yeah.
So
Feeling good.
he's feeling good. Drought's over there getting a snack. I'll be joining him shortly. But feet are very important. You gotta take care of them, especially when you're gonna be doing multiple legs on a trip to get to your bug out location. We're gonna get Ole Grizz feeling a little bit better and get on our way. Well, I know we didn't show the setup, but we found ourselves a spot. And now Drought is on the lookout for more wood, as am I, but now I'm going to start getting ready to get the fire started using some birch bark. Alright, now that I've processed a lot of this, broken off some strips, pulled off the little fine pieces, I kind of made a decent pile right here. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the edge of my knife, I'm just going to scrape it on the inside here. And by doing this, I'm going to start creating some very fine dust. And shavings. I don't know if you can see that. Right there. That's what I've done so far. So I'm going to do that a little bit more. Alright, so you see I got my little stick lean-to, as I like to do. The birch bark will act as a great platform for the fire to feed on while not sucking up the moisture of the ground. I got some birch bark right here shredded, ready to take that little flame and hold on to it. A little bit of pine tree branches, very dry. So let's give this a whirl. Make sure we're sparking real good. Take it. Take that flame. More birch bark. Birch bark. Birch bark. Good, good, good. So move you into here. There's some pine needle, pine tree. Yes, yes, success. Bring some of these around. There we are. There we are. All right. You know why that's important? Because in a previous episode, the old with the new, I believe, I tried to use birch bark to get a fire started, and I failed. And you know why? Because I didn't tap my skills. And if you want to know what I mean by tap your skills, check out the link that's going to be popping up for the bot, Tap Your Skills, because obviously, when you do it, you get success. You get results. Nothing like a fire. Got the fire started and figured this would be a good time while everybody is sitting and eating to ask them what wounds they have sustained thus far. Drought, how you feeling? What's ailing you?
My hip. Don't know why on that one. My feet for sure.
Yeah, no doubt.
And my shoulders.
Shoulders, yeah. Now, is it like the hip joint or is it like just the surface?
Surface, I think where the bag's sitting.
Yeah, it's where the bag's sitting. Yep.
Belt meets bag.
Yep. Alright, well, Ole Grizz, how about you?
Just about everything. My right foot, I got a blister.
You got a blood blister on there, right, or something like that?
Yeah, you must see it. A twist or something in the foot. Then when it hits a rock or a push off, it really hurts.
Mm-hmm.
And then on my legs, I'm not doing it right now. Sitting here, it starts shaking.
Very, I guess, weak. And then as for me, my feet hurt. I'm going to be definitely taking off the boots, taking off the socks, giving them a good old look over, see if I am getting any blisters or anything, because don't want any of that. Shoulders are probably a little tight too. And to be honest with you, you need to be realistic when picking out your bug out location. I mean, we still need to go another day, maybe two. I mean, who knows? This might be an impromptu on the move bug out that we never intended, but like I said before, best laid plans. But think about that. Be realistic where your bug out location is and how long it takes you to get there, because fatigue, I believe, is cumulative. You know, one day you're fine, next day you're a little bit tired, but then something starts ailing you, and it starts sucking up more energy, and before you know it, you're crawling at a snail's pace, and what should have taken you maybe 2 days or 3 days to get to your bug out location is now taking 6, and you might not have enough food, and you might not make it. Thoughts? Think about it. You guessed it. It's that time. And I can say with certainty that everybody was happy to hit the hay early. And we all checked up on our pains and aches and pains. I said I was going to check out my feet, and I did. And they're looking pretty good. Still a little sore, but they're going to enjoy the rest. And that's what we all need, because tomorrow we're going to be at it again. So till then, good night. Day 3. Slept pretty good. Legs were sore, obviously. Ole Grizz he's stirring. And Drought is already working on the fire. Found some coals, so that's good. Keep the fire going. Don't have to use up your ignition sources. And I warned Drought. I'll warn Ole Grizz. First couple steps, it'll be a little bit painful. But on with the day. Well, I'm going to be drinking my vitamins this morning. Drought is cooking up some, coffee?
Coffee and breakfast.
Coffee and breakfast.
Should be enough of
Ole Grizz. He's drinking his, instant coffee right there?
Yeah.
Well, as you can see, totally different mood than yesterday morning when it's pretty much up and out. We're taking it a little bit easy. I actually do brush my teeth when I'm out here. This little guy's great because it's all incorporated together, and you can refill this with your toothpaste. Excuse me as I brush, and then I got something else I need to tell you. What it told you about my mouth was full. If you notice, when I did that, I was kind of doing like a little spray like you would see a whale do. Instead of just spitting it in one little glob in the center, you want to spray it around. That way, all the fluoride and all the different stuff that they put in their toothpaste doesn't stay concentrated in one area and hurts the environment. So next time you brush your teeth, remember to be like a whale and just kind of spread it about and help nature. So here's my project. Got some bark here to roll, and then I set this by the fire to get this nice and toasty, actually maybe a little too toasty in a couple of spots. Some bark here, more birch bark, and I'm gonna take this stone just lying around and pound all of this, different parts of it to get to a nice dust, and then bigger chunks, and then some sticks, and then roll it all together, and in theory make a fire carrier. I guess you could say, like Les Stroud said, an Apache cigar. So let's see how it goes. Pounded in some fine dust, scraped off a lot of this great punky wood, and what I'm trying to do is I'm putting the very thin stuff, tiny stuff, dusty stuff, kind of in the middle, and then trying to put the thicker stuff on the outside so it will catch. This right here. I worked hard on this, I'm not going to waste it. Put this right at the top. Okay. Sprinkle that really dusty stuff where you're going to be putting the coal. And there, in theory, it's going to be my fire carrying cigar. Put a little coal in there, as you can probably see, and then giving it a blow. Getting some smoke action, so hopefully that will last till we get to our next campsite. Hopefully. Leaving camp again. This time with fire. I'm gonna keep a watchful eye on this. That's where we came. That's where we're going. And this is where we are. Cigar's still doing alright. Oh yeah. You do have to baby it. Well, as you can see, we made it, but this little guy did not. It was a learning experience though. Probably would have made it thicker. Put some more bark on the outside to armor the birch bark. But some things to take note about: any cordage that you use to tie together, be prepared to sacrifice that, because mine melted and died. And also, I was doing really well until I hit these beautiful plains, and then the wind kicked up and I couldn't shield it well enough, and woof, caught on fire. I was able to put that out. Maybe half a mile later, another big gust came in, and then you can see it blew out the side. And unfortunately, I couldn't save it. But now I've learned a bit. It did work. Just couldn't do the mileage that we needed to. Learning experience. Some of those clouds are a little bit darker than I've seen for the majority of the trip. So just in case, I attached my rain catches to my rainfly. And if you want to know how to make these, check out the link that's going to be popping up for the Pioneer Prep rain catches, where I go in detail on where to get the parts and how to modify them to make that. And if you've seen any previous Bug Out Boy episode, they come in real handy. So check it out. And I figured, since Ole Grizz and Drought were crazy enough to come out with me, that I would share some of my private rum with them as a toast to our success. Well, success so far. So, thank you guys. Actually, I'll do this first. Which, by the way, alcohol is important. You can use it to sterilize some stuff, barter. I was about to take another swig. Yes, sir. What do you have in your hair?
One of those things. The bugs kept landing in my hair.
That's right, this citronella thing.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe it'll work. They haven't attacked me since I put it in there.
It's a great fashion statement. It's that time again. And a little bit earlier than we're used to, because of where we situated ourselves in this wide open area right above the stream. The cold just swept in, literally. I mean, you could feel it coming down. And I'm glad that we're up here, because down by the stream it'd be even colder, but I have never experienced such a temperature change so quickly before in any of my bug outs. So always learning and experiencing. But I believe we're all nice and toasty warm.
Yes, we are.
Grizz is really close.
Yep.
And today we didn't have to hike as far, so we use today as a respite, and I think we will all benefit from that. So, till tomorrow. Good night.
Good night.
Day 4. Pretty calm night. Stars were out. That was pretty. No wind. But as soon as that sun came up, which it comes up real early when you're in the kind of a plains area that we are, the wind kicks right back in. So, I believe it's time to pack up for the last time and get ourselves out of here. Alright, well, I just finished packing up my hammock, and as you can tell from this episode, as well as previous Bug Out Boy episodes, this hammock has taken really good care of me. It probably kept me alive a couple times where I was a little bit more reckless than I should have been. But if you want to know my full review of this Clark's North American Jungle Hammock, check out the link that's going to be popping up, where I go in detail on what I think about this hammock. And we're off. Bushwhacking, once again. Using the compass and the little topo map that we have. Hopefully we'll find our way out of here with a more expedient route than going through some nasty bogs that we saw earlier. Figured I should mention, as we're trying to get back to the vehicle, that this is pretty much all I have left. Well, that and a couple pieces of jerky. And one thing I should say about my trail mix that I did is that I put some cayenne pepper in it. And cayenne pepper is just good for you in general, but I read up that it's a appetite suppressant. So it's hoping to keep the hunger pangs away while we make our way out of here. So if you can stand the heat, give that a whirl. A campsite in the middle of nowhere. Literally. As I come in Ole Grizz, I'm just gonna peek up behind him and yep, that's a guy walking really quickly.
Serious mullet.
Serious.
See it from here.
With serious mullet.
Whatever, man. That's funny as hell. We're like, oh my god, we're so lost.
We're so lost. We're so lost. Hey guys, how's it going? Well, happy part is that we're not lost. There apparently is a trail right there. There's a guy right there. Saw another guy, hiker, come up. So we're not lost. We are found. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we hope you enjoyed this Bug Out Boys episode. Obviously, things went a little bit awry.
And when you're bugging out, that's what happens. Things don't go really the way you planned.
But nonetheless, we hope you enjoyed it. And Drought?
I guess he didn't like what
That's all he has to say about that. Hey, so we will catch you